Very good, very good. Is this one of ours?
Yes, this is Mrs. Smith. She's with us again, yes. Pregnant again.
Again, yeah.
Multiple partners, not entirely sure who the father is. She claims it was an accident.
Oh. It was an accident, was it? So you're telling us that you were walking down the high street, you tripped over a loose paving slab and fell onto an erect penis. Is that right? Very good, isn't it? One of my favourites, yes, marvellous.
Excuse me.
What? No, it's thingy.
You know, I'm sorry to trouble you, because I know you're both very busy. No, it's just my back is really hurting me.
Well, quite frankly, my dear, if you didn't want to get backache, then you shouldn't really have got pregnant in the first place.
No, silly old you. Bye.
Thank you for all you've done for me, Doctor.
Talking.
The hardest thing about being a doctor is dealing with difficult patients. Now, GPs call their worst patients heart sink patients because your heart sinks when they come into the room. Now, to spot whether you're a heart sink patient, we've divided them into 5 groups. The first group of heart sink patients is the manipulative help rejectors.
Well, there's your pills back, Doctor. Didn't help in the slightest. Surprise, surprise. I've had all the treatments I really have. And do you know why, Doctor? Because I'm a medical mystery, I am.
Here we go.
Medical mystery. That's what my specialist calls me up at the teaching hospital.
Oh, Professor Cranley.
Well, you probably call him Professor Cranley. I call him Roger. I'm his favourite patient, I am. Oh, yeah, he uses me in all the exams, you know, Doctor. Do you know, Doctor, last time he opened me up, he said it was like a bloody battlefield in there. Bloody battlefield. Very, very rare what I've got. I suppose it was stupid of me to accept an ordinary doctor like yourself to understand my rather difficult and complicated problems. Still, I better be going. Thanks anyway.
Yes, and the second category of heart sink patient is the entitled demander.
Nothing wrong? Nothing wrong? What do you mean there's nothing wrong? I'm in bloody agony, Doctor. I'm a bloody cripple. I've never known pain like it.
Wish you were dead?
Yes, I do, Doctor. Take my shoulders, they've completely seized up. I can't even move my arms anymore. Anyway, what are you doing about these shakes, eh? Look at them go. Look at those shakes go. You keep ignoring them, just like you keep ignoring this ringing that I've had in my ears for the last 6 years. That's tittiness, that is, Doctor. You haven't examined me properly, you haven't taken my shirt off or reported to the General Medical Council for that. I know my rights.
Yes, and the third category of heart sink patient is the self-destructive denier.
I know what you're going to tell me, Doctor. I know what you're going to tell me to stop the whiskey, but I can't stop the whiskey, Doctor. It's the only pleasure I've got in life these days. And besides, it gives me something to do while I'm smoking. And you can't tell me that smoking's bad for me, Doctor, because my father,
God rest his soul,
he smoked 175 cigarettes a day and lived till he was 94 years old, so you can't tell me it's bad for me. And I know me bloody diabetes is all out of bloody control, or me bloody blood sugar's all bloody high, whatever you bloody well call it, but it's only a donut.
Yes, and the fourth category of heart sink patient is the professional consumer.
Well, quite frankly, Doctor, we're all at the end of our tether. It's the 3-year-old again.
Jocasta?
No, Tabitha.
Oh, yes.
This nut allergy business has got completely out of hand. It's all quite tragic because she simply adores pistachio nuts. She really does. She's totally hyperactive, running up and down the stairs. She won't sleep. Do you know, sometimes she comes into Jeff and my room at 4 o'clock in the morning and asks for a cuddle.
Well, we can't have that, can we?
No, we can't.
No.
We're all at the end of our tether. I don't know how we're coping. I've missed bridge twice.
No.
Yes. Jeff is further down the squash ladder than he has been for several months. Doctor, I read in the Sunday Times...
Oh, no.
About a clinic in Hungary...
Here we go.
...with a marvellous professor there who specialises in small British children with nut allergies, and we want a referral there pronto. And, of course, we're in Bupa.
And the fifth and final category of heart sink patient, my personal favourite, is the dependent clinger.
Scott, wait! Get back in this bloody pushchair now!
Hello, Doctor.
Oh, God, no.
I'm just parking the pram, Doctor. Scott, leave that alone and go and play with the nice man's toys like a good boy. Hello, Doctor. Doctor, thank you for seeing me again at such short notice, but you really are the only one that understands me. You're not like all the other doctors. They don't seem to listen like what you do, Doctor.
Yeah, what do you want?
Doctor, I know I only saw you yesterday,
yes,
but I've got so many problems I just don't know where to start. So I made a list.
Oh, shit.
Baby Kylie's nose studs got all infected again.
Oh, lovely.
Wayne keeps pulling at his ears.
Yeah.
I'm developing a little hard patch of skin here on the back of my heel from where my shoe keeps rubbing, Doctor. And that red wine stain never did come off the carpet with the salt like you said it would.
Well, there's a lot of it about.
Of course, my Derek's back's never been right since the dog jumped up and knocked him against the side of the fridge, Doctor.
Yes, it's probably a virus.
Well, I better be going, Doctor. Thank you for seeing me. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Talking.
We're talking about listening and understanding. I've had my baby now. It turned out to be a T-shirt, slightly disappointing.
It was a boy, then?
It was a boy T-shirt, yes. I'm joined by not only famous comic duos Struck Off and I, but they're real doctors, Dr. Tony Gardner and Dr. Phil Hammond.
Hi.
Now, you've already put me in a very awkward position here, because I'm having to talk up to you.
We're used to this, you see. We've got you down there and we're controlling this consultation, so
It's
fire away.
It's important if you want to communicate with anyone, you have to be on the same level. So if your doctor insists on towering over you, you should stand up and make sure you're at the same level as them. They'll find it quite disconcerting, but you're very vulnerable. What we tend to do is to strip you completely naked and then talk to you. And you feel even more vulnerable then. Put your legs up in stirrups and then get 20 medical students in and you feel really awful.
But it is a problem, isn't it, communicating sometimes with your doctor? I mean, are there ways that this can be improved?
It is, because most people are very frightened when they go and see the doctor. And I think doctors don't realise that, because most of us have never been sick.
One of the things you do is you teach doctors how to communicate better with their patients. What are the sort of things, pointers for them?
We teach the medical students, and the best way of teaching them really is to get them to practice. And we use role play with professional actors. Now, the British have a traditional reticence for role play. They hate it. And so you try and diffuse it a bit by starting off and making it vaguely humorous. But then we do it quite seriously. And the beauty of the role players is that they feed back. This is what you don't get with patients. Patients won't tell you what they feel about you, but the role players come in, they play a role, it's very believable, they look and sound like a real patient. And then they say afterwards to the students, actually, I thought that was very good the way you greeted me, I thought you were a bit standoffish there, you didn't look me in the eye, whatever. And the students find it very valuable. And it's about the only time in your medical career where you get the patients feeding back and saying how they actually felt about it. And I think it probably improves their communication.
Some teachers go in and assume that they can, if you like, lecture the children and preach at the children. I do not think that teaching is about that. Teaching is a dialogue. It is you are giving information, the children are responding, and you have a dialogue, and you're listening to what the children are bringing into the classroom as well as what you are bringing into the classroom.
One thing you mustn't do is actually, when you're listening to them, your eyes are roving around the room looking for someone more important to talk to. That's absolutely fatal. You've actually got to give them your undivided attention and not be too quick with response. And when silences come, when they dry up, listen, because they want to come again, rather than jumping in with some supposedly word of wisdom.
So it's listening beyond the words. It's hearing what isn't voiced. And sometimes it's also listening to the language that people choose to use that may not be words, like listening to the silence, listening to the sobs, listening to the weeping, listening to, if you're with somebody face to face, the fact that maybe they have cuts or things like that, and that's the language they've been using to communicate their pain. Other languages.
Talking. Now that we've memorized the planets, I want to use the basic system we used to teach you the fundamental beginning memory systems that help you to listen far better to whatever you're listening to. This is a system called the number rhyme system. It uses those brain skills we were talking about, which are association, words, images, even daydreaming. Now, in this system, you have a rhyming word which becomes an image next to each number. So for number 1, you have the word bun, B-U-N, the creamy cake, 1 bun. Imagine your own special bun, the taste of it, the texture of it, get all your senses involved, then you can listen and remember better. 2 is shoe. 3 is tree. 4 is door. 5 is hive. 6 is sticks. 7 is heaven. 8 is bait. 9 is vine. And 10 finally is hen. And you imagine your own particular little chicken. What color is she? What kind of personality does she have? And then very quickly look down that list again and picture in your mind those items.
How's that going to help them learn all the things on the stairs? I don't really understand.
It's going to help them wonderfully.
Okay.
Shall we do it?
Yes. Why don't we have a particular volunteer? Robert, you'd like to volunteer, wouldn't you?